Hey guys, so today I'm filming a very exciting video. I'm going to be reviewing the Catrice items that I hauled from Ulta a couple months ago. I've been able to test them out for a while and I wanted to share my thoughts with you. But before I get into the video, if you guys haven't seen my past few videos, then I wanted to let you know that I was nominated by Star Central Magazine for their Beauty Guru of the month of November, and I need your all's votes to win. You can vote once a day until November 27th, and I want to thank everyone that has voted for me so far. I greatly appreciate it, and I will have that link down below if you would like to go vote for me. And now back into the video. So Catrice is a drugstore brand that has been available overseas for quite some time, but it hadn't really been available in America. So within the last year, Catrice and Ulta contracted together. So now Ulta is carrying quite a few Catrice products. Unfortunately, Ulta's not carrying the entire line. There are still some products that I really want to try out that aren't yet available at Ulta, but hopefully they will be soon. So I tried out 5 products and I wanted to share my thoughts with you guys. So the 5 products I tried would be the All Matte Plus Foundation. My shade is in number 10 Light Beige, which is the lightest shade. I also have the Catrice Prime and Fine Mattifying Waterproof Powder, which is a translucent powder that looks like this. Next, I tried their Liquid Metal Shadow in We Are the Champagnes. I tried one of their Velvet Matte Shadows in Burgundy. And lastly, I tried their Ultimate Lash Multimizer Mascara. So check the description box for more information. I'll be giving you the prices, all of the shades that are available, and direct links to the individual items. So all that info will be in the description box, so make sure you look down there. And I am first going to talk about the foundation. So I do have a first impression on this foundation, which I'll link up here for you guys if you'd like to check that out so you can see this in action. I am wearing this foundation today and I had to doctor it up a little bit. So this foundation has 3 big claims. It is full coverage, it is going to control your oil, and it's going to last up to 18 hours. So those are all things that are extremely important to me that I wanted to truly test out, and this is medium coverage at best. When I applied 2 layers on my face, it is medium coverage, no more than that, and I still have redness showing through. So full coverage is definitely not true. I know that everybody has their own idea of what full coverage means, but I feel like just absolutely no. This is medium coverage at best. So as far as the oil control claim goes, this controlled my oil for 4 hours, which is about the standard time that any foundation will control my oil. So while that time is typical, this should have controlled my oil for longer, considering that's one of its claims. It's not just a regular old foundation. This is an oil control mattifying foundation. So I was super disappointed in that. And then after I blotted an hour later, I was super oily again. Usually I can blot and be okay for a little bit. So definitely do not really love the oil control claims. This did last on me all day. It didn't break up, but I did get very oily. So the lasting power claim is pretty true, but it is definitely not full coverage, and it is definitely not good at controlling my oil. So I was super disappointed in this foundation. Also, this foundation comes in 5 shades, which is awful, like literally awful. That is the worst shade selection ever. I have number 10 Light Beige, which is the lightest shade. It is a bit too dark and too pink for me. This foundation also oxidized on me. I have only ever had 1 or 2 foundations oxidized on me before, so that was a bummer, especially because this was already too dark. So after it oxidized, there was no way I could work with it because it was like 2 or 3 shades darker than my skin tone. So to rate this on a scale of 1 to 5, 1 being the worst, 5 being the best, I'm gonna rate this a 2 because it did have nice lasting power, but this did not give me full coverage like I wanted, and it did not control my oil. So if you are someone that likes medium coverage and you have normal skin, this might work for you. But if you're super oily like me, you like full coverage and you're really fair, it's not gonna work. Next is the Prime and Fine Mattifying Waterproof Powder, and I have used this one quite a bit to touch up. So this is a powder that, I mean, you could use it to set your makeup. I haven't tried it that way. I prefer to set my makeup with colored powders, but I have been keeping this at my vanity to use to touch up. So when I'm oily, I will blot my skin and then go over top of it with this powder to help mattify the area. Now it does instantly mattify. The problem is that 30 minutes, 1 hour later, I need to do it all over again. So I don't expect this to keep me matte for 4 more hours, maybe 2, you know, that would be great. I don't mind touching up a couple different times throughout the day. The touch-up powder I usually use is the Rimmel Stay Matte, and I feel like that powder does a better job of mattifying me than this powder does. I don't think that this powder is awful, but I'm not going to be repurchasing this. I will completely use it up, but I wouldn't really recommend it or repurchase this. On a scale of 1 to 5, I'd probably rate this a 3 because it is okay, but it's not amazing, it's not terrible, it's just okay. So next I'm going to talk about their liquid metal eyeshadow. Like I said, I have the shade number 3, We Are the Champagnes, and just looking at this, it reminds me of the MAC Extra Dimension shadows or the Estee Lauder Cyber Gelée shadows. The texture is so cool. It is like a reptilian pattern, which I love. It is really, really fun. So this shadow is really pigmented and beautiful, but it doesn't show up as true metallic as it looks in the pan on my eye if I wear it on its own over a regular eye primer. If I want it to be truly, truly pigmented and metallic, I have to layer it over a sticky base like the e.l.f. glitter primer, which is what I did today. I have this shade on my lids, and I'm going to show you a swatch of the shadow by itself and then over the e.l.f. glitter glue. So right here is a shadow by itself. As you can see, it does still have a really beautiful reflection to it, but here is the shadow over top of the e.l.f. glitter glue, and the pigment is showing up a lot more. It isn't just the shimmer, it is the intense pigment as well. It is very, very metallic and beautiful. I love this shadow way more when I put it over the e.l.f. glitter primer. The effect is just so much cooler, and I find that to be true with a lot of shadows in this type of formula. I do that with my MAC shadows and my Estee Lauder shadows to make them even more metallic. So I thought that this was a nice eyeshadow. All of these are going to be shimmery in this particular range. So on a scale of 1 to 5, I'm going to rate this shadow a 3 as well, because I do like the color and I like the finish, but I don't think I'm going to purchase any more shades. It didn't really wow me, but it didn't disappoint me either. Next, I'm going to talk about their Velvet Matte eyeshadows. I have the shade Al Burgundy. I'm wearing it in my crease today, and Kirsten raved about this line of shadows, so I knew I had to try them out, and burgundy eyeshadows are some of my absolute favorites, so I had to get this shade. Like I said, I'm wearing it in my crease, and I do have a swatch of it right here, and this is definitely not a true matte shadow. As you can see, there is a subtle sheen to it, so this is more of a satin, but when I applied it in my crease, it doesn't look like it has a sheen to it whatsoever. It does look like a matte shade. So now moving on to the formula of this shadow. This is pigmented without being powdery, which I love. I really, really like that. I feel like those shadows are easier to work with because you're not going to have to worry about fallout all over the place. So this shadow looks beautiful in the pan, but I do not love it as much on my eye. I feel like when I started to blend it into my eye, the color got so dull. It doesn't look like this beautiful purple. It just looks like a really dull gray purple, and I feel like it kind of looks muddy, even though I use the same brush that I always do in my crease and I blended it out the exact same way I always do. So I wasn't impressed with the way that it blended out, and that could totally have to do with the shade that I picked up. Maybe other shades blend out beautifully. So on a scale of 1 to 5, I'm going to rate these a 3 as well. I like them, don't hate them, don't love them. I think the color is pretty. I love that it isn't a powdery shadow and that it is pigmented, but I didn't really love the look after I blended it out. And lastly, I have the Ultimate Lash Multimizer Mascara, and this is something that I got for free because I purchased $15 worth of Catrice makeup, which is awesome because I would not have picked this up otherwise because I have so many mascaras right now. So this is what the brush looks like. It reminds me a lot of the CoverGirl Lash Blast Volume Mascara in the orange tube. The brush is shaped the same way, it might just be a little bit larger. I love this mascara. It does a great job of giving me length and volume. I'm wearing it alone on my lashes today, and usually I will apply 2 different mascaras, but I really enjoy this one on its own. This mascara is a really nice formula, very black and pigmented. It isn't water resistant or waterproof or anything, but I really enjoy this, and on a scale of 1 to 5, I probably rate this mascara a 4. It isn't holy grail to me, and I'm not going to be purchasing this right away because I have so many other mascaras I want to try. But if you were interested in trying a Catrice mascara, definitely recommend this one. I was really impressed with it. So guys, that was my Catrice review of the products I picked up from Ulta, and unfortunately I wasn't really wowed by them. The mascara was my favorite, and it isn't even that unique of a mascara, but with everything else I was either disappointed or ho-hum. The foundation's awful, and the powder and the shadows are just okay for me. I'm not going to repurchase anything here. I'm not going to purchase any other shades, so I don't regret trying out these products, but I am disappointed that I didn't fall in love like I was hoping I would. So I would love to know your thoughts if you've tried any of these products, and please let me know your favorite items from Catrice, especially if they are available at Ulta. Thank you all so much for watching this video. Please rate, comment, and subscribe, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye guys.